Okay, so we're going to try and do this one a little bit differently. So obviously I do take your guys' feedback, things you say in the comments and that. So in the effort of pleasing all of you, hopefully, going to try and get them a bit shorter. So people have been sort of saying the videos are a bit too long, a bit too much waffle, but that's just me, I can't help it. But I'm going to try and cut that down a little bit. So I'm going to skip the intro and just go straight into what we're doing. So this is going to be sort of a pre-raid, pre-Karazhan gear set. I'm not going to say BIS list, a gear set for a Retribution Paladin. So this is going to be the gear that you're going to get 3 options for each slot. Some might be crafted, some might be from quest rewards. It might even be a green, but it can hold up in starting raids. So Karazhan. It might even be from a dungeon drop. I've tried to leave heroic dungeons out. There's the odd item that we can't get away from. The item that's just that good that you've got to go and focus on that dungeon to try and get it. But we'll just kick straight off. Just obviously make sure you like, subscribe, and all that stuff. Check out the giveaway. We've only got about 100, as of time of recording, about 198 subscribers to go. Then we've got the first giveaway of 3 months game time. So I'm quite excited to do that because I'm going to stream it on Twitch. So yeah, give me a follow on Twitch as well. ScottyJ87, I'll put it down there now. So yeah, we'll crack on. So we'll start where we always do, and we'll start with the head. So you got 3 choices from all. So choices here is the Furious Gizmatic Goggles. I couldn't even get the words out, like a tongue twister. So these are engineering goggles. Really good, great item. Yeah, there's no reason why you wouldn't go for this if you're engineering. In fact, it's the best. It's got a meta gem socket, so it's the best that you're going to get before you step foot into Karazhan. Then you've got Helmet of Claw, which is literally just walk to Steam Vaults. If you don't know where Steam Vaults is, have a look on Wowhead. It's in Zangarmarsh, just directly outside the instance. There's a quest. You grab this quest, you go in, you clear Steam Vaults, you get this head. I know it's leather, but it's got the stats on you want. You're going to get some crit from the agility. Obviously, you've got the other stats on it. So yeah, there's no reason not to have this because you'll probably do Steam Vaults before you go in Karazhan anyway. Then you got the Cleft Hoof Helm. So this is just from Nagrand, just from the Hemit Nezinweri quests, which is, you're going to do it when you're leveling. So you might as well pick this head up because it's very nice. It's got agi, strength, stamina. Yeah, it's solid for a green. You might need a friend or two to do it because, the end of each of the quest chains end with an elite, and then the final quest is a big elite. So, yeah, but worth picking up. In the previous Druid videos, I was actually dressing the character up as we went along. But again, to cut some time out, you can see what the character's going to look like at the end of this video. So, cool. We're going to go with, obviously, if you're engineering, we're going to say that you're going to use the engineering goggles. So, moving on, to the neck, we've got Natasha's Choker, which is just from a Blade's Edge mounting quest. It's a solid choice for a quest reward. Crit, hit, attack power. Overall, really, really nice option. Then you've got Talon Lord's Collar. So, again, just a quest from Orkington. You're probably going to do this on your way leveling up anyway, so just pick this up if you haven't already got Natasha's Choker, which you probably wouldn't have by now. But either of those would be just fine. And then I chuck this one in here because it is quite nice, but it's going to require you doing some heroics. But it's the Badge of Justice neck. So I've mentioned this third because it's not what I would spend the Badges of Justice on, not straight away anyway, but we'll get to that a bit later on. So for me, I would just go with Natasha's Collar and we'll move on. So we'll go on to shoulders. You got Rage Steel Shoulders, which just a blacksmithing BOE. It's amazing, to be fair. Gives sockets, crit, hit, strength. Aim for this. It's not ridiculous mats either, so shouldn't really take too long if you want to farm it. If you've got a friend who's a blacksmith, or if you are a blacksmith yourself, then obviously just go around, farm the mats, make it yourself. But ultimately, these are the shoulders that are on our character on screen now. That these are what I would recommend going for. But you've also got Mantle of Perinold, so this is just from normal old Hillsbrad foothills. So nice amount of crit, hit, attack power, 2 sockets, and it's only from a normal dungeon. So that's a good option to go for as well. Odds are you might do old Hillsbrad foothills a couple of times, so it might drop. And then the last one's Overmaster's Shoulders. So this is just a Neverstorm quest. It may be green, but it's really nice to say it's green and from a quest, so you can get it very easily solo. So, you know, you're getting hit, crit, a good amount of strength, bit of stamina, which is, you know, just thrown in, just a bonus. But, you know, overall, the green shoulders are solid. So when you're leveling up, make sure you do this quest. I put all the quests on screen as well, so you know, you can jot them down or whatever, or refer back to the video, and then go and make sure you do this quest so you can grab these. Because, yeah, these all, you literally could go in Karazhan with these. You know, don't be put off by the fact that they're green. The stats are still quite similar to even the blues and items from Heroics. So, you know, they're absolutely fine. I've tried to be a little bit more maybe realistic. I may have seen the error of my ways with the Druid ones. I was reaching quite high for the early stages, but that's because I'm a Druid and that's exactly how I play. That's what I'll be doing. You know, getting all the best crafted gear, going for 2 primary professions to get the most out of the professions as well. But I've tried to not dumb it down, but, you know, go and make it a little bit easier, give you more easier options for gear rather than just going, these are the best items you want to get. So, shoulder wise on our character on screen, on our dancing paladin, though, we've got the rage steel shoulders on. So that's cool. So moving on to the back. So capes. You've got Vengeance Wrap, which is going to be quite pricey. I've had to put it on here, though, because it is really good. It's going to be the best you can get before stepping into raids. So I would advise, trying to go for it if you can. But the other two alternatives, so you've got one from Shadow Labs, which is Cloak of the Inciter. Odds are you'll get this one. Or if you're really unlucky, you might not, because you might need to run it a fair few times. But you're definitely going to go to Shadow Labs, because it's part of the Karazhan attunement quest. So you're 100% going to at least go to that dungeon very, very early on. So I'm actually going to do a guide on the Karazhan attunement quest, but I don't want to go off topic because that's what keeps these videos really long. So lastly, Nomad's Woven Cloak, which is quite possibly the most annoying quest in the game and most annoying quest I've ever done. If you don't remember using a trampoline to jump up in a tree, then you've probably not done it before. If you have done it before, the memory of standing there for sometimes an hour trying to land in a nest will haunt you for the rest of your life. There's ways to cheese it and everything, obviously, and only what if you've got a party of 5, only one person has to get up there and all that stuff. I know that, but if you're on your own, it can be a right pain. But no, nevertheless, the cloak is really good. Definitely one that you want to try and get hold of because it's really nice. So we've actually got Vengeance Wrap equipped, so that would be the one I was gunning for. But any of the other two are absolutely fine. So let's move on to the chest. So for the chest, we've got Blackened Chest Plate, which is just from a quest in Blade's Edge Mountains. Very nice. I would say there's you can't really go wrong with it. To be fair, it is the one you want. It's from a quest, and it's literally the best chest you're going to get before you go into Karazhan. So this is the one we've got equipped on our character. Spoiler alert. So then we've got Chestplate of Adal, which, it's again just from a quest, and it's a quest you're going to do because it's part of an attunement quest. And it's on par, similar stats. You could go either or, whichever one of those two that you wanted to go for. It's not going to matter too much. I mean, me personally, I would still be going for Blackened Chestplate. But you could get Chestplate of Adal and you would be just fine. And then the last one is from Alcatraz. So Doomplate Chest Guard. Really nice alternative. If you want to get the 2-piece set, you're going to bag a massive 35 hit rating as well, which on the basis as a paladin, because you get 3% hit from talents, you only need 6%, which is just under 100 hit rating, let's say. You're getting over a third of your hit rating just from the 2 set, from wearing 2 pieces of this set. So, yeah, really good. And it's got what you need, And then moving on to the bracers. So bracers, we've got the Blacksmithing BOE, which ultimately are the ones to aim for. Lots of strength, lots of crit. They'll be a bit pricey due to the fell steel bars. But, still, you should be going for it. You're going to be farming. There's a lot to do where you can make gold in TBC. So, yeah, these are your number one choice. Then you've also got bands of Sith, which are from Shattered Cephec Halls. So these are pretty nice as well. Lack on hit, but they're trifactor stat, which is, always good. So you're still getting some crit. You're getting lots of attack power, all that kind of thing. But you're going to have so much hit from other pieces, especially if you get the 2 set of the previous bits of armor we was talking about. You're going to be all right for hit rating anyway, so you could afford to drop that and go for bands of Sith if it drops for you. Then there's the Night Stalker Wrist Guards. So again, this is a Neverstorm quest. I struggled with the third set of bracers because they're all quite bad. There's a few really good sets, and then the rest are like, meh, like not too bad, but not amazing. So I thought I'd put these on because they've got a nice amount of hit.
and a good amount of attack power. And they only come from a quest, so it should be nice and easy to get. So I thought it was worthy of a mention. So any of these 3 sets you'll be absolutely fine with, but preferably go for the blacksmithing one, and that's what our character's wearing. So then moving on to hands. So we've got the Doom Plate gauntlets. So these are just, when I say these are just, they are from Heroic. They're from Heroic Blood Furnace. I try to make sure Heroic Blood Furnace is probably one of the first you start farming to get hold of these. Because, again, it's going to complete your 2 set to get the 35 hit bonus. So really, and they're really nice gloves. When you look at the stats on them, they're banging. So, yeah, go for those. Alternatively, you've got the blacksmithing BOE. So the gloves are, they're a good alternative. Then we've got the Iron Blade Gauntlet. So these are just from normal Blood Furnace, so you could get these at like 61 or 60 or 60, 61. They're really nice, for a level 61 item. It seems strange that you're going to want a level 61 item for pre-Karazhan gear, but they're solid, and you can get them early. You can utilize them for leveling, so definitely one that I would recommend. That's why it's on the list, and it's what our character's wearing. So moving on to the belt. So belt, we got Socratar's Girdle, which is just from a Neverstorm quest. It does require you to be Scryers. So again, I'm not going to get too much into what Scryers and Aldor is, but you can only be 1. So if you want these, you have to be Scryers. There's not too many good plate belts out there early on, so you'll probably find yourself using leather. You'll probably find yourself using leather a lot throughout the first tier of raiding as well. But yeah, it's nice and easy to get if you go Scryers, and it's got very desirable stats. Then we've got the Naru Belt of Precision. So this is just another quest. But this is a quest you'll absolutely do, or I will. The majority of people do, because it's a key quest. Sorry. So this is part of the chain for the Alcatraz key, which only one person needs the key to be able to get into Alcatraz. But let's face it, you want to be that person, don't you? You want to be the one who's the big boy with all the keys opening the door. So you're gonna want to do this. So you might even want to not worry about Scryers and go Aldor for something else. But then, because you're gonna finish the Alcatraz key quest line, and you're gonna get this anyway. So all good. And then you got Deathforge Girdle. So just from Sefek Halls. So it's one of the better plate belts. It's got some crit, couple of sockets, good amount of strength. Obviously lacks the hit, but you might not need that. And it only comes from a normal dungeon, so it's really a pretty decent belt. Well, we're really tearing through this. So legs next. So we've got the BOE World Drop. So great stats and only a BOE. So that's the leg guards of Shattered Hand. These would be what I would gun for as a Ret Paladin. Checking the auction house regularly. Bartering with friends. You want to try and get these as early on as possible, because they are really, really good. Then you've also got the Cleft Hoof Hide Legs. Again, I said you might use a lot of leather just from a quest, and this quest actually gives really good rewards. So you might want to think quite carefully about what you take, especially if you play off specs regularly and stuff like that. So yeah, you want to ideally get the first one so you can take something different from the Showdown quest. But obviously that's up to you how you're going to play that. And then you got, again, it's a nice alternative, just a green item, but when you look at the stats, so it's just from Neverstorm, the mid-realm leggings. It's got crit and hit on and a decent amount of strength. So there's absolutely no reason why you wouldn't use these in Karazhan. Well, there is a reason. You want to get the BOE, but you know what I'm saying. If you're a bit lazy or you're poor or whatever, you'd be able to get away getting in Karazhan with these. It's obviously the BOE that our little paladin's wearing there. So we'll move straight on to the boots. So for the boots, we've got the Shatari Wrought Greaves. So this is an Orkandon quest. These will be the easiest to obtain because they're just a dungeon quest. And you're going to go and do this place, like I've already said. So really, the best boots you're gonna get are really, really easy, and you're going to get them like that. So that's all good. Then it's pointless talking about the others because you will just go and get these. But anyway, you've got the Obsidian Cloud Stomper. So these are from Botanica. Really good set of boots. Good alternative to the Shadow Labs boots. But these come from normal Botanica. On the basis you're going to do the Kara pre-quest, which requires Shadow Labs anyway. You're going to get the Wrought Greaves, so it just doesn't matter. And then Master's Tread. Again, if you wanted something really quick just to buy off the auction house, they're a BOE World Drop. They're leather, but you'll probably pick them up fairly cheap, and they'll tide you over until you get the Shatari Wrought Greaves. So again, our Paladin on screen's wearing those Shatari Wrought Greaves. Rings are quite easy. You need to get 2 out of the 3. I've put the Shatar Exalted ring there. I've not said about any other reputation the whole way through all the gearing, and we've only got rings, librams, and trinkets left. Well, and weapons, obviously. So Shatar might be a really good one to go for early on, and you can get a shield as well. For off spec from the Shatar. There's a few other items that you might want to pick up, even if they are just blue. Not necessarily for Ret, but that might come in useful for Holy or Prot. So yeah, Shatar's a good one to get the rep with. And then you've got Slayer's Mark of Redemption, which again is just a quest, and so is Band of Anguish. Both very similar stats. Yes, they've got agility on. That doesn't matter. There's not really that many great strength rings. So but any of these 3, you probably want to start with Slayer's Mark and Band of Anguish, because they're just going to come from quests, and then you'll probably work on your Shatar rep to get exalted, and then pick up Adele's Command. But that could, you could be raiding Karazhan by then and get the Violet Signet ring, but in which case then you'll swap one of the other rings out with a Violet Signet ring and still get Adele's Command. So either way, pretty good. Then trinkets, we've got Bloodlust Brooch. This is what you're going to spend your Badges of Justice on first. I don't want to tell you what to do, but you should absolutely do it, because it's a banging trinket, and the other rewards from Badges of Justice can honestly wait. The trinket can't. The trinket's gonna make up for a lot of your damage. So it's a bad boy. You want to get hold of it quickly. And then to go with this, which will synergize well with this gear set as well, is the Hourglass. So the Hourglass comes from Black Morass. You're going to have a lot of competition on this, because loads and loads of classes want it. But if you think about all the stats that we've been getting throughout this, that you're getting a lot of crit. This has got a proc that increases your attack power when you crit. So it's going to synergize really nicely with gear. Plus, it's pretty much just the second best trinket for any melee. So, yeah, you'll pick that up. Then I've put another good one on, and I say a good one because I'm actually going to pick this up on my Feral Druid until I get Bloodlust Brooch. So, Core of Arkalos. So, it's just a quest in Neverstorm. It's a stopgap till you get Bloodlust Brooch. All it is a poorer version of it. So, you're losing, a bit of the attack power bonus and that, but ultimately still a really, really solid trinket for a green from Neverstorm that you can go and pick up solo. So then Librams, I'm not going to talk about these too much. You want to get them all. That's it. You want to get them all, because there's going to be scenarios where you want use the Consecrate one. It might even just be if you're out soloing, like farming AoE mobs or whatever, so you can get more damage out of that. There'll be times you might want the Crusader Strike one. Can't off the top of my head think why you would, because you probably would use Libra of Avengement, but really you want them all. Just get them all. That was nice and quick. And weapons is going to be just as quick as well. So there's loads and loads and loads of choice of weapons, but we're talking about what are the best ones before you go into raid. Which, if you're a blacksmith, you should 100%, depending on your specialisation, whether you're hammer, axe, sword, whatever, make your specialised weapon. So Lionheart Champion is the swordsmith version. These are ultimately the best weapons you're going to use for a while. So if you're a blacksmith, that's what you should really be focusing your efforts on primarily. If you're not a blacksmith, you can get the blacksmith BOE from a blacksmith friend, which is sort of just a lower tier version of the bind on pickup blacksmithing weapon. So, but still very nice. So this is Fell Maul. This is the two-handed mace version, but you can get a sword, an axe, polearm. But they've all got different, different chance on hits and all that stuff. But either one of them will be fine. Obviously, your race will come into play there as well a little bit. Then the blue one on there. So the Plasma Rats Hyper Scythe. It doesn't matter whether you go for that one or any of the other ones from all the dungeons that are two-hand. They've all got the same damage, like DPS, slightly different stats maybe, or a different proc or whatever, but ultimately you just look through the two-handed weapons from dungeons and just take your pick. But that's it. Obviously our Paladin's using the Lionheart Champion, just in case you wondered. But I hope you found this useful. Try to keep it as quick as possible. As I say, make sure you like, subscribe, check out the giveaway, all that good stuff. Give me a follow on Twitch. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one, which will be Enhancement Shaman.